Hello, I'm Craig Pontey from Ray White Double Bay, and welcome to a fireside chat with the lovely Nerida Conisby. Thank you for coming today. Nerida is the Ray White, what would you call yourself, Nerida?
I am the Ray White Group Chief Economist.
Wow, Chief Economist. So we're going to have a bit of a chat today. I'm really keen to understand what you've been seeing out there in the top end of the market, because you're across the whole of Australia as far as numbers are concerned with the Ray White Group. So can you give me a bit of a picture as to what you've seen?
Yeah, look, it certainly is an interesting market. It has cooled off from last year. We're starting to see it in pricing. Median prices have come back a bit. At auction, we're starting to see clearance rates soften a bit, bidding activity soften a bit. But it does depend where you are as to the performance of the market. And as you said, it also depends on price point.
Yeah.
At the moment, sub 650 seems to be okay, and then over 4 mil seems to be okay. And I'm not sure exactly why, but you could probably tell me. You're talking to buyers all the time.
It's certainly what we've seen is that top end of our market's been really, really strong. And it's been driven by low stock levels. That's probably what's driving it at the moment. Interest rates don't seem to be having an impact on prices yet at the top end. But, you know, I think sentiment is a real driving factor out there. Just to change the tack, we've got an election coming up, and elections normally have some impact on the market. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, look, certainly it won't have the same impact as we saw last election when negative gearing was on the table and people were very concerned, investors in particular were really concerned about the market. This time around the focus is on affordability, it's on first home buyers. So I think if you are a first home buyer, it's going to get better no matter who wins the election. But for everyone else, I think it probably will have less of an impact than what we saw at the last election.
So you're seeing right at this very point that we're probably in a bit of a normal, stable market, and it looks like that's what's probably going to continue for the next, hopefully the next 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, look, from the data, that's what it looks like. If you read the media, you probably would have a different view. But
100%.
Certainly what we're seeing with auction data is that last year was not a normal market. It was red hot. It was a very intense market. Things were moving very, very quickly. What it's looking like now is very much prior to the pandemic, that in terms of bidding activity, in terms of clearance rates, even stock levels, you know, they have pulled back as well.
There's an interesting one you mentioned, bidding levels. What are you seeing out there? Like, I know you get all the auction data comes into you and you know, coming all over the country. What's that showing as in numbers of bidders to get a bit of an idea of what's going on with auctions?
Yeah, so on average over the past couple of years, average active bidders per auction across Sydney has been sitting at about 3.2. Okay. And that levels range from April 2020, first month of the pandemic, it sat at 2, so that was the absolute bottom. Then the absolute top, we were looking at around 4.5 in about September last year.
Interesting.
So at the moment it's sitting at about 3. So, you know, it's not the sign of, certainly not the sign of a, you know, early pandemic market.
Or a raging market, but it's a normal,
it's a pretty stable market at this point.
Yeah, oh, that's good news. Look, I just wanted to thank you very much for having this fireside chat. If we can help you out there with any real estate or you need to know anything, please give us a call. Thanks very much and all the best.